Right now at noon, it's election day today for some voters in the 4 states. And Newton County residents are asked whether to pass propositions that would allow for use tax on online purchases.
And a couple of clouds here or there, otherwise clear skies, temperatures heating up. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Boeing workers in Missouri head to the picket lines while they're determined to get a better deal.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Voters in Missouri and some in Kansas head to the polls today to decide special elections. In Newton County, voters face Proposition A, a proposal to introduce a local use tax. Now, if passed, Prop A would allow the county to collect sales tax on online purchases from out-of-state vendors at the same rate as the total local sales tax rate. The use tax is not collected from in-state purchases, and the funds from the tax would be used to help fund retirement and benefits for Newton County sheriff's deputies and other county employees. Local law enforcement say improving their benefits would help with recruitment and retention.
These funds will be used to enhance the benefits and the pension for our Newton County deputies and all other employees. It'll be to place these employees on the loggers pension plan through the state of Missouri.
Currently, the local sales tax rate is roughly 1.63% if voters pass Prop A, and if the local sales tax is repealed, reduced, or raised by voter approval, the use tax would change as well. Let's head over now to Chris Warner for first weather.
Yeah, we've already got temperatures climbing out there today compared to where we were yesterday. Many of us where our highs were yesterday is where we are now. And we're not done warming. Quick look outside. Downtown Pittsburgh looking good. And from the Joplin side, looking to the south from the Modoc camera at 20th and Rangeline, you can see some of those clouds out there. But really, again, not many. Take a look at these numbers. Again, our record lows are well lower than where we've been for our lows. But just look how chilly it's been. And just a few degrees from normal yesterday. A lot closer to normal is what we're expecting as we head through the afternoon today. Already low, mid, and upper 80s. Our heat index values kind of on par for some of us, especially to the southwest, where they're about anywhere 3, 5, 6 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature, so starting to feel like the low 90s. Temperatures will be still into the upper 80s, near 90 by 7. Will gradually fall back into the upper 70s by 11. It'll have near average temperatures overnight with those clear skies. Average low again about 70, and that's where our lows are headed tonight. However, temperatures are really going to start to heat up, and that brings up the heat index values as well. We'll talk about that and some rain chances this weekend here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. So a 95-year-old is dead following a crash in Newton County. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says it happened just before 9 a.m. last night on US 60, about 5 miles west of Neosho. A Ford Focus driven by the Cassville woman crossed the center line and hit a Dodge pickup head-on. The driver of the pickup, a 34-year-old Neosho man, was hurt. Troopers say he was not wearing a seatbelt. The woman who was wearing a seatbelt died at the scene. And a small community in southwest Missouri recovers from the news of a fatal crash over the weekend. Authorities responded to reports of the crash around 10:30 Friday evening on County Road 260 just outside of Asbury. Troopers discovered a UTV had left the roadway, overturned, and ejected the driver. The man was pronounced dead just after 11 at an area hospital. And a beloved longtime Joplin public servant passes away. J.D. Love joined the Joplin Police Department in 1965. He was on to serve the force for nearly 30 years before retiring in the early 90s. Love also served for a time as Jasper County Coroner. Now, just last year, the city of Joplin renamed a 3-block stretch of Mickey Avenue in Love's honor, J.D. Love Way. Love, 86 at the time, attended the council meeting in which the vote to rename the street in his honor passed unanimously and with a standing ovation. This is file footage of that event, and one former Joplin mayor called Love, quote, a true legend, and a former Joplin police officer called him a genuine peacemaker. J.D. Love was 88 years old. Well, more than 3,200 Boeing workers in St. Louis walked off the job yesterday morning, launching a strike after overwhelmingly rejecting the aerospace giant's second contract offer in a week. Justina Cornell spoke to workers about what they'd like to see happen next.
Honks hyping up union members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers District 837. Cheers encouraging their campaign for a better contract with Boeing.
It just ultimately didn't feel right.
The union rejected a second proposal involving a 4-year deal, including a 20% general wage increase, a potential 40% average wage growth, and additional paid time off.
I'm pretty sure you guys might have heard that we turned down 40% GWI. That's false, I'm afraid. It was 20%.
They're 20% that they're saying we get. People like me that are at the top, we only get 12.
These union members believe the time is now, especially after years of sacrifice.
2 contracts ago, they were threatening that we didn't have any work in here, which at the time we were slow. So they talked us into signing a 7-year contract with no raises.
University of Missouri St. Louis labor studies professor Doug Swanson knows the investment companies put in. But with a shallow employment pool, employees may have the upper hand here.
Employers understand that it costs a lot of money to recruit somebody, and it costs a lot of money to get them trained. The employer is investing a lot of money in their workforce, and then when that person leaves, that investment goes out the door.
Until an agreement, workers stay passionate on the picket line.
I want to retire from here. I don't want to leave here. Until we do win, I'm a side contractor, so I will be keeping myself busy, keeping money coming in until they decide to give us the respect we deserve.
The last time Boeing faced a major strike was in 2023 when workers in Washington and Oregon went on strike. And coming up, honoring impact, Joplin's mayor celebrates 6 local colleges. And later, we're making Texas two-step ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The Joplin City Council celebrates the powerful role 6 local colleges play in the local community. Leaders from Pittsburgh State, Missouri Southern, Kansas City University, Crowder College, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, and Ozark Christian College joined Mayor Keenan Cortez as he proclaimed their impact.
Many of the teachers that are here, business leaders, entrepreneurs, they're Missouri Southern graduates, and it's part of the fabric that we have within the community. Yeah, I think all the institutions recognized this evening share a goal of providing great opportunities in higher education, so we share that.
Mayor Cortez says the schools supported 2,680 jobs, invest $126 billion in campus projects, and educate more than 21,000 students who contribute to the local economy. The Leadership Joplin class of 2025 has unveiled a new mural in the city's downtown. Leadership Joplin is a program developed by the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce, which hopes to help motivate future community leaders. The mural project was commissioned as part of the group's community service project and has been completed by local artist Derek Weiberg and Austin Clay. But artists of all skill levels were able to help leave their mark by contributing to the mural on Color the Community Day back in May.
Members of the community actually got to come out and paint their mark on the mural. So on some of our plants, on some of the bottom parts of the mural, people of all ages came out and celebrated with us together. So everyone got to leave their mark, so to speak, on the mural.
The mural is located on the east wall of 629 South Main Street in Joplin. More than 30 different local businesses and individuals donated to help bring the mural to life. A surprising shift in America's reading habits is concerning to local experts. A new study from the National Endowment for the Arts reveals less than half of American adults picked up a book last year. We spoke with Nayla, Adult Literacy in Joplin, who says turning the page isn't just good for your own growth, it can uplift those around you.
Books are good for you in a couple of different ways. One is it's entertainment, it's relaxation, but another is it helps maintain your long-form comprehension skills to be able to read even just a 200-page novel.
Nayla offers free services along with free books for all those who want to read. And it's back to school season here in the 4 states, and some students in southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma are getting some extra help. Today's back to school fair in Baxter Springs offered free school supplies, haircuts, health screenings, clothing, and more. Students from pre-K to 12th grade in Riverton, Baxter Springs, Galena, and Quapaw could also enter to win a bicycle.
It's very rewarding. Our staff is very big into putting our lives to the side and how can we help our community and give back.
The event was held at the Route 66 Soda Fountain. And if you're looking for events right here in the 4 states, we've got you covered. This QR code will take you straight to the events page of our website, kwamnewsnow.com. Just scan it with your phone and you'll find information on all kinds of upcoming family events, including some back-to-school fun. And one such event made a major announcement yesterday. The North Heights Porch Fest releases its complete band lineup with 54 acts set to perform. The 9th Annual Music Festival takes over the Joplin neighborhood from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on October 4th. Local musicians perform on front porches throughout the community, offering everything from rock to folk music. Organizers say the festival celebrates the unique character of the neighborhood while bringing people together. You can check out the full lineup at kwamnewsnow.com. And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you're confused by which pork ribs to buy when you're at the market, that'll all be cleared up today.
And we are tracking temperatures climbing potentially to dangerous levels as we go through the next few days. Latest on our new heat wave and some rain chances when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So temperatures heating up. Now today we're not expected to get too crazy in terms of the heat, but over the next 3 or 4 days, temperatures are really going to climb. It's going to push our heat index values up a bit as well. Live look downtown Pittsburgh. Things looking pretty good. Skies are clear from the Pittsburgh perspective, but as we showed you earlier from the Modoc camera 20th and range line in Joplin, you can see a couple of those clouds out there. So let's talk about where our heat index values are going today. And honestly, over the next several days, we're looking at heat index values only maybe 5 to 8 degrees above the air temperature. Now you get 8, 10, 12 degrees above the air temperature. That's where we run into problems. That's what we had a couple of weeks ago when we had those heat index values, temperatures actually in the low 90s, but heat index values 105 to 110. Very muggy. But our heat index values over the next few days won't be that far from the actual air temperature. But as our air temperature rises, it'll of course push those heat index values up a bit. So that's why we're looking at that potential, at least for some folks for sure, the possibility of some dangerous heat. By tomorrow, we're upper 90s, low 100s for our heat index values. We go into Thursday, Friday, a couple of the hottest days we're looking at so far this week, maybe even into Saturday, but you can see now we got a lot more locations up to about 105 because we're looking at highs Thursday, 98, 99 degrees across the area. Friday, we're looking at highs pushing close to 100. Some locations, the highs may actually be 102, 103, so you add 5 degrees to that, and that's where you start getting up into this 105 to 110 degree range again. But again, it's not because it's overly muggy or the air's so thick. It's just because our air temperatures are heating up right along with this. But we're going to be back to that point, at least for a few days, of needing to take precautions, stay hydrated. If you're susceptible to the heat, making sure you're staying inside, keeping the pets inside. And the other thing is the difference too here is last heat wave, just a couple of weeks ago, week and a half ago, we had some clouds here and there. That helped with the UV index on some days. Not going to be the case over the next few days. We're looking at pretty clear skies, which means a lot of sunshine, which means you've got to make sure that you're taking appropriate precautions for your skin. We're into the low 90s again today, but those heat index values, 95 to 98 out there. Into the evening we go, still expecting clear skies back in the low 70s, so warmer than where we have been, but those are near normal temperatures for us. But tomorrow, we start going mid-90s, heat index values up to 100, maybe a little more depending on where your high is, and still sunny skies, that south breeze 5 to 10. Here's the deal, though. The other difference between this heat wave and the one we just had is that one lasted, 2.5 weeks? This one, not going to last that long. It's going to be maybe 4.5 days. Because as we head into the weekend, Saturday's still looking to be pretty darn hot at this point, but we'll start to see isolated shower and storm chances. And on each of these days so far, for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, with our rain chances, each of these times, those rain chances are in the first half of the day, wrapping up by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Saturday, we're done by the afternoon. We go overnight Sunday, we get a few more scattered showers and storms across the area, but same situation. We go a little later today. Here we are 5 o'clock Sunday. Now we're down to just a few. And then this process kind of repeats as we head into Monday, but it's this boundary it's going to try and get close to us and push through that's going to help us with our temperatures. So again, we're heating up mid-90s tomorrow, upper 90s Thursday, maybe even some lower 100s on Friday. Friday, still close to 100 Saturday, but then thanks to the rain, temperatures, yeah, they're still hot next week, but they're seasonably hot. They're right where they should be, into the low 90s, and of course that'll help our lows get back in the low 70s once again as well. So just a brief heat wave this time, but still got to be safe.
Absolutely, Chris, thanks. And stick around, we're making Texas two-step ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is perfect for a summer backyard barbecue. Howard is making Texas two-step ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Every summer, we get all sorts of questions from you asking if we can explain the difference between all the different types of pork ribs that we see in the market. So to help clarify this, let me show you some of the most popular ones. These are baby back ribs. They're called baby back not because they come from baby pigs, but because they're the shortest of all ribs. They're also easy to recognize by their curved bones. They're the sweetest and the most tender and leanest of all ribs. Over here are spare ribs. As you can see, they're larger and the bone is much straighter and flatter. They have a higher bone to meat ratio and the meat is much more marbled, which gives them lots of flavor. Next is what is known as St. Louis or Kansas City ribs. They're simply spare ribs where what is called the flap and the tip are removed, making the slab rectangular. And to get us started, we have a recipe that I know you'll love. They're simply baby back ribs that are slow roasted with a Texas-style rub. And when they're fork tender, you slather them with barbecue sauce. So if you like ribs that are so tender, they practically fall off the bone, you're going to want to go online and get the recipe for our Texas two-step ribs. And while you're there, make sure you check out our entire collection of rib recipes. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a super tender way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website, of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, again, we're starting to heat up out there. Seasonably hot today, but then mid-upper 90s, lower 100s even by Friday. Heat index values rising, so take precautions. Then some rain chances this weekend and back to normal by next week.
All right, Chris, thanks, and Darby for us later on.
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, more than 100,000 people will be diagnosed with melanoma this year. The good news is now that treatments have advanced, death rates have declined. We're going to take a look at new tools that are helping to make a difference. Plus, local food pantries are in need. We're going to hear from a Southeast Kansas food bank and how you can donate. And back to school season's right around the corner. We're going to take a look at how communities are preparing. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dow, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.